pitch and none to Bayshore, then Never Again. French Emperor drawing clear, and French Emperor's going to be far too good for them. For Jamie Carr, 1 and 2 lengths, pitch and none to Bayshore. The lead from Russian Ronnie with 100 metres to go, and they were followed next in the field by Cuffs Grange, but it's all Lafargue late kicking away, and Lafargue bolted in from Cuffs Grange. Then Cosmic Rhapsody and Grinzinger Prince down the outside. Hypothetical at the 50 takes the lead from Fine Dane, and Hypothetical, this is for real. Hypothetical learned from Fine Dane, Cosmic Rhapsody. Hard now, Rainbeal 100 to go. Minsk Moment searching out after it. Joins Rainbeal and heads it off. It'll win. Minsk Moment first, second, Headboller.
Welcome back to my channel for Group 1 racing. This time for the Group 1 Cox Plate. The W.S Cox Plate over the 2,040 metres. What a race it turns out to be. Anamoe goes around the short price favourite, and it's hard to find a knock with him. But before we get into the Cox Plate, we've got a couple of races before, so let's get into the preview and find the winners, because I'm quite keen on a couple over this card. Race number 1 at the Valleys, the listed English banner for the 2-year-olds over the 1,000 metres, and I'm with the horse at J-Max on Mexico here. Good holiday destination, but I think they can be winning here. Barrier 2. Trial well, drawn to get the rails run. I can't see Sailor's Rum kicking up. I think that she'll either hold the rail or she's going to go back and be midfield. I don't know. I haven't seen a public trial, and there hasn't been one that I know. Mexico for mine. J-Mac on. Trialled well in Sydney. $6 is a spoil. That's the one I want to be on in the first. Sailor's Rum for second. McAvoy's train. Jamie Carter ride. Good chance. Good combinations for second. Arkansas Kid for the Hayes Boys and Ollie. Good chance. And Kappa 39 for Nick Ryan and Damien Lane. I thought was a pretty good chance of 550 put with Mexico. $25 to win and $10 to win on Sailor's Rum in the listed English banner for the 2-year-olds. Race 1. Race number 2 is a handicap over the 1,000 metres for the speedsters here, and I'm with Sartorial Splendor. Drops a lot in weight from last start, carried 63 kilos. John McNeil on, down to the 55, jumps on the pace. It's good last start, very brave at a benchmark 84. I think it's clear the one to beat here and stands out in this field, and if you like it, please back it because it will shorten in from the 550. I'm already on at 550, but back it because I think it'll shorten. Yalong Command, the other one, you can't let him go around at this $7. I can't let him let him go around at the $7 quote. Jamie Carr on for the Freedmans, 54.5. The Valley Specialist, drawn barrier 5. Great chance. Malkovich, the Sydney sider, comes south, looking for something a little bit easier after last start, contesting the Moya at Group 1 level. And Ancestry, the speedster, he only knows one way, burst out of the gates and burn to the front at $19, could kick away and win, but I doubt it. He doesn't have the match fitness for some of these, but Sartorial Splendor for mine on top. Hard fit now, should be ready to win, and should be winning this at 55 kilos for John McNeil and Johnny Sadler. And Yalong Command, the Valley Specialist, for second as a saver. 15 the win, Yalong Command, 45, Sartorial Splendor. Race number 3 of the Valleys, the Group 3, Red Anchor Stakes, won last year by Generation, and I think it's going to be the Sydney sider winning it this year in Shajardin. Jamie Caron for Gary Portelli, 58.5 kilos, is a great chance here, and if the rain doesn't come by this race, I think it'll absolutely bolt in. The stable are deciding to take the blinkers off him. Look, better ground now, I think it's going to work to this horse's favour. I'm very, very keen on this horse here. And I think he's a very good chance. Sweet Ride, the other Sydney side who comes south for Chad Schofield. Annabelle Neesham trains it. Good chance. Don't think it can be winning, but will definitely run top 3. Great Barrier Reef, I think should be running in the race. It was accepted in on the Friday night, but the stable bring it to this race. And King's Consort, I thought, was over the odds at $23. Was consistent in its first 2 racing campaigns and does get John McNeil. Barrier 6 with 57 kilos. But Shajardin for mine in the Red Anchor, 35 to win. Race number 4 at the Valleys, the listed William Crockett Stakes over the 1200 metres for the speedsters here as well. And I'm with Greece, clearly the one to beat if the track's dry at this stage. And if the stable don't scratch, because they won't run her on a rain-affected ground, and she will be scratched if that rain comes before this race. But if it's on dry ground, she runs, she wins, bolts in here. Barrier 6 goes forward, Jamie Carr on. I can't express how far it'll win by. I think over 5 lengths. If it runs, very, very good chance. And if it's scratch, I'll be with Everglade for Damien Oliver. Barrier for another one that'll go forward. It'll be very hard to beat with the scratching of Greece. Willinga Beast, I'm hoping, goes to Sydney. And Wee Nessie gets J-Mac sticking from last start. It's a good chance. But Greece for mine, enlisted William Crockett Stakes, 45 to win. And I'll have 35 to win on Everglade if Greece is scratched. Race number 5 is the Group 2 Fillies Classic over the mile at Moonee Valley, and I am with Hell Hath No Fury. I thought it was very good last start. J-Mac on for Danny O'Brien. I can see this horse improving enough thanks to be winning here. Coming out of the Jim Maloney Stakes, running third in that race. Was accepted the run last weekend, but was scratched. Comes here now. Very good chance. I think it'll be winning here for J-Mac. Climbing Star is up to the mile from running over the 1200 metres, so that's interesting for Zach Spain and Philip Stokes. Can win, but I want to see it do it over the mile first. Do it the one that I know that will get the mile. Probably not matching it with the class of a lot of these, but I think can run well here. Barrier Fight is going to give it every chance to Luke Nolan. And Bonheur, 11 barrier, a bit against it, but Natural is in good form and is riding it. Is going to ride it well and give it every chance. But Hell Hath No Fury for mine in the Group 2 Fillies Classic, 35 the win. Race number 6 at the Valleys, the Group 2 Crystal Mile over the 1600 metres, and I'm with Tuvalu. She'll bolting it in here. 8 from 13, 4 seconds in a third. She is an absolute superstar, this horse. Rightfully claimed the Group 1 last start and was third in the Group 1 to Sir Rupert Clark at her first start this campaign. I think she's clearly the one to beat here. My Oberon for second, Johnny Allen for Anamoe Nisham. He's got a good record on internationals, Johnny Allen. Won the feature of the Cox Plate on this day last year. And I think that this horse can run the race at $6. Gentleman Roy doesn't want it too well, but can run well and probably does go forward for John McNeil. And Cool Sign Mav, I thought was over the odds at $11 for Jamie Mott and Danny O'Brien. But Tuvalu, clearly the one to beat. Barrier 3, 59. She's the one. 45 to win. Race number 7 at the Valleys, the Group 2 Moonee Valley Vars over the 2,040 metres, the distance of the Cox Plate, which is the feature of this on the day. But I'm with Berkeley Square here. 3 from 5, very good horse. Craig Williams sticks. Just a query if it takes its place here, might just go to the Derby, but if it does, I think it's going to be very hard to beat. Market's already identified that is a short price favourite and deserves to be. But if Berkeley Square is scratch, I'll be with Virtuous Circle. Was very good last start in the race behind Tijuana, being the stud stakes at this course, where James McDonald rode it, and I think it's a good chance at $5, and will be shorter if they scratch the favourite. Pericles for third, good chance, and Vegeta San, if they lead on this horse, could be very hard to catch at $11, but I'm with Berkeley Square, 35 to win, $10 to win on Virtuous Circle if they scratch Berkeley Square in the Moonee Valley Vars. Race 8 at the Valleys, the Group 2 Moonee Valley Gold Cup. Luna Flair won the race last year and she's in the field this year, but I think Person can take this out. Loves any conditions. Fourth up, should be able to be getting a win here. 55 kilos for Damien Lane. Barrier 7 perfect. Kieran and David Eustace. Never underestimate their stayers. And I think that this horse was very good last start in the Herbert Parrot and can go bang here with a good, strong, tough win. Desert Icon for second. Brett Pribble for Chris Waller. He'll rate him in front, but I just hope Person can get over the top of him late. But if the track's playing towards leaders, he could kick away and win and be dominant in winnings. Desert Icon for second. Luna Flair won the Bart Cummings. Question is, what are they going to do with her? Do they really want to tire her out before her Melbourne Cup run? I would think not. So I think from the barrier, they'll snag her back and she'll run on well and aim for the Melbourne Cup. Not a winning chance here for mine. That does have a good weight and a good barrier. And Grand Promenade, the stablemate to Person at $8.50 is a good chance. Probably leads here. but I don't think he'll get it very easy with Desert Icon in the race. But for my person, Desert Icon, the 2 you want to be on, 45 to win person, and 10 to win on Desert Icon. Race number 9 at the Valleys, the Group 1 W.S Cox Plate for Ladbrokes, and I can make this quite quick. Anamoe, clearly the one to beat here. He's got all the Australian horses covered, and probably the international rating here in Albotagon as well. But Anamoe, he'll win. I don't know by how far, but he's coming out of the premium form reference. He's won 3 Group 1s this campaign. He ran so well in this race last year, controversially not being able to take the win, but I think he will this time for James McDonald and James Cummings. James McDonald won the Melbourne Cup last year, winning his first feature. He'll take his second here aboard Anamoe. Pretty confident he can stamp himself. I mean, he's a star, but he can stamp himself as the best 2,000 metre horse we've got in this country and be winning the W.S Cox Plate. Albotagon, the unknown for Damien Oliver, looking to win his 3rd Cox Plate, I think. For Chris Waller, he's looking to win his 5th. Good chance, but he is only first up from his overseas campaign. Well, racing in overseas. Zaki could get a pattern advantage if the rails and run can prove fruitacious to him. Jamie Carabord, she's looking for her first feature, and she's dreamt about winning the Cox Plate, so I think he's a good chance. In Alligator Blood, the barrier hasn't been too kind to him, but I think he's still a good chance to take this out. But Anamoe, the one for me, 85 to win in the Group 1 W.S Cox Plate. I'll be astounded if he's beaten. Race number 10 at the Valley, the get out of the day, is the Group 3 Tesio Stakes over the mile. And I'm with Roots here. C. Waller, in form, 2 from 2 this campaign. The stable finds Craig Williams with 54 kilos. Clearly the one to beat in the last. Barrier 3 is beautiful for it. And I think it'll be winning the last. Agreeable for second. More backing the stable in here with Jamie Carr and Will Clark. And whenever Will Clark travels his horses and Jamie Carr's on, and the money's on, which at $4.60, it's a good price and can win. And they generally win when they travel their horses to Clark and stable. Cyril Amos was good last start. Goes forward, good chance 3rd up to win again. And Douceur, finally back in grade or race that it can win. 54.5 kilos for Harry Coffey. Good chance from Barrier 9. But I'm with Roots in the last. So Group 3 Tesio Stakes, 25 to win. Thank you for watching the preview for Group 1 Cox Plate Day. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you back some winners, and I'll see you next week for the preview of the start of the Melbourne Cup Carnival for Derby Day. Quite excited about that meeting, but I'll see you next week for the Carnival. See you later.